Officers, deputies, and troopers maintain law and order. They're the first lines of defense against crime and the main resource to investigate it. But many smaller agencies fight another daily battle, the county's bottom line.
In a special report tonight, ABC 17's Joe McLean asked Mid-Missouri law enforcement leaders how they protect tens of thousands of citizens on a tight budget.
County sheriffs and city police chiefs have the tough job of taking each dollar allocated to them and turning it into the most effective agency possible. The decisions made carry high stakes, especially with public safety on the line.
90% of my decision making for staffing is with funding. What I have available to work with and what I can do with it.
Tony Wheatley serves as the Monitaau County Sheriff. Right now, his department consists of himself and 6 deputies. In a county spanning more than 400 square miles, Wheatley says his agency is strained.
And sometimes in evenings, I only have 1 deputy on for the whole county. I have to answer go with them a lot of calls myself as the sheriff, just to have an extra body there.
But Wheatley says he's not alone.
I know a lot of the rural sheriffs around here personally, and they all have the same problem, staffing.
I honestly consider myself as running skeleton crews. When I look at the needs of the community and the calls coming in, I operate on minimal staffing.
According to a Department of Justice report from 2012, there are 4 common strategies law enforcement agencies use to determine how many operatives to hire. The first is per capita, where the amount of agents hired is directly related to population size. Some counties will determine the minimum number of deputies they would need to deploy at any one time. The third, like in Monitaau County, is solely focused on how much money the agency receives. The workload approach, on the other hand, considers the agency's need, and it's the strategy that many law enforcement leaders in mid-Missouri say is the most effective.
The 2 sets of data I primarily speak to the commission about literally on a weekly or monthly basis is the jail population and the calls for service, which then go hand in hand.
Calls for service, the number of calls for service that we respond to that are self-initiated, that are response to a member of the public calling, all of that data is recorded.
Sheriffs and police chiefs I spoke to say while all these different methods can be a helpful guide, staffing a law enforcement agency is both an art and a science and comes with learning about the community itself.
The need becomes identified, and then we have to look for a solution and how do we meet those needs.
Major Tom REDDIN has been with the Boone County Sheriff's Department for more than 3 decades. In his time, the agency underwent several large-scale expansions based on the needs of the county, including one in 2002.
The demand was there, but there wasn't the supply of deputies. The information was put together, it was presented to the community in the form of a law enforcement sales tax.
That sales tax passed, allowing the county to hire many new deputies and expand the jail facility. But efficiency is not only determined by a department's budget. Agency leaders I spoke to said there's one way law enforcement can become far more effective without spending a dime.
Without a community support level that aids us, then we can't really do a very good job.
Community support is a necessity. It's not a want, it's a need. The community members are the best eyes and ears we have out here.
You can't have a cop on every street corner. There's a lot of responsibility placed on the community members themselves.
In Monitaau County, Sheriff Wheatley says his deputies are steering towards community policing efforts.
Where we're starting to get out and get in touch with the public more. And I think that's going to help us a lot in the long run. And that's going to help make up for some of that deficit we have in deputies.
You can find out more about law enforcement logistics and how you can get involved on our website, abc17news.com.